If you aren't preparing for the success that you say you want, then you don't believe you will accomplish it. There were two farmers, and they went out in their fields and got their land ready and planted their crops. Well, it had been a particularly dry year that year, so both of them prayed to God, please God, we need some rain. And they both went back in their homes, but one came back out. He came back out with his umbrella. Now, usually that story is used to illustrate that who had more faith than the other one did. But I took it a different way. The way I took it is who was preparing for what they asked for? Who thought they were going to get what they were asking God for? Now, I hope everybody in here wants to be a success at something. I hope you do. Whether that's to be a better mom or be a better dad or a better co-worker or a better speaker. In 1979, there was a study that was done. And some people said it wasn't done because they can't find proof of it, but we're going to assume it was done. And what they did is they interviewed some graduate students that were in the MBA program at Harvard University. I think it was Harvard. I always get it mixed up if it's Harvard or Yale. But what they did is they asked them a question. And that question was, do you have written goals and do you have a plan for their attainment? And out of the people that they asked, 84% say we have no goals. 13% said, well, I have a goal in mind, but I don't have anything written down. And only 3% said, I have a goal in mind, and I actually have written down how I'm going to attain this goal. And they did interview these same students 10 years later, it says, and what they found is the people that were in the 13% earned 2 times more than the ones who had no goals, and the ones that were in the 3% earned 10 times more than everybody else. Now, this focused mostly on success with money. They made more money than the other people did. But from what I've studied and read about people that are a success in their areas, they did one of the main things that people did to prepare for their success. And it was writing down their goals and making a plan. But there were some other principles that they had also that I've noticed. So I want to give you a few of those today. The first principle is you need to write down your goal, you need to post it where you can see it, and you need to visualize it. It's amazing when you write something down, it's almost like you're writing it down on your brain. And you need to post it where you see it all the time because that's what your subconscious is going to work on to get you towards. And when you visualize yourself doing it, it's almost like your brain thinks you've already done it, so you're going to get there. Jim Carrey, the actor-comedian, did this. Before we knew him as a famous guy, funny guy, he was a struggling actor. And he said what he did was, several years ago, he wrote himself a $10 million check. Now, he did not try to cash this check because it would have bounced. But what he did is he gave himself a 5-year window to make $10 million. And it was Thanksgiving of 1995, almost 5 years to the date, he signed a contract for $10 million for the movie Dumb and Dumber. So even if you didn't like the movie, he attained his goal because he wrote it down, he visualized it, and he did it. The second principle is you need to fail forward to prepare for your success. Successful people fail, and they fail a lot. If you ever search on the internet, there's videos for famous failures, and I always wonder, why don't they call them famous successes? It's because before they were a success, they failed. Some of them lost their homes. Some of them lost, or even if they kept their home, their utilities were shut off because they couldn't afford to pay. Some of them were told that you're not fit for TV, like Oprah Winfrey was told. There's a playwright, well, he's a movie producer too that I follow. His name's Tyler Perry, and his first play you could say was a flop. He only had 30 people show up, and he said it was mostly friends and family. But he did another play. He did another one until eventually he tours with his plays. Plus, he's done movies. And now he owns his own movie studio, Tyler Perry Studios. So he failed his way forward to the success that he wanted. Third principle to prepare for success is you need to study what it is you want to be a success at. People that are experts weren't always an expert at what they do. They took the time to research. They took the time to interview people that were doing what they wanted to do, that were successful at it. I've had people ask me, how do I do a podcast? Well, before I even did episode number 1, for 4 months, I studied How do you start a podcast? What software do you need? I talked to people that had it. I researched what I wanted to do, and even now I'm getting ready to do episode number 40, and I'm still studying on how to make your podcast successful. And then the last principle, principle number 4, to prepare for your success, you need to realize the conditions will never be right to start. You will never have enough money, you will never have enough time, and you will never have enough resources. Now, I'm not trying to discourage you, but people that are a success start anyway. Just ask J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. When she wrote her first book, she wrote it on a typewriter. She didn't have a publisher. She actually had gone through a divorce. She had a child to take care of. She was on welfare, what we would call welfare in the U.S., but she had a dream and she wanted to be a successful writer. So she took that typewriter and wrote the first Harry Potter book. So she didn't let the fact that the conditions weren't right keep her from her dream. Now, the path to success could be different from each of us, but you have to take the steps necessary to propel you to that success. So you want to get your umbrella ready for the success that's about to rain down on you.
Wow.